I know it's interesting because in the soundbite, I believe the statement is made something to the effect of, if there were a law supporting the execution of homosexuals, would you support it? And you're never really given the opportunity to answer the question. You start to make a statement, and the statement is cut off. I think you say something like, well, if it's a law, and then the statement's cut off. And that is taken to be, yes, I would support it. How would you, since people don't have access to the ability to see the entire interview in context, how would you then finish that question?
Well, there were, of course, laws against homosexuality. When JFK sat in the White House,
We may not put any of this on.
When he sat in the White House, there were laws in every single state. All the states, there were 50 states back then, they all had laws against sodomy. And there was reasons for that, and I don't know what the reasons are. It could be health reasons, it could be for protection of minors, it could be lots of different reasons. You'd have to go into all the different state legislatures to find out what the laws were. So there's a lot. When something becomes law, what makes it a law? Is it the referendum of the people? Is it the concerns of the legislator? Is it something that's mandated? So, when something becomes law, you have to say, well, why is that the law? Why is non-smoking laws laws? Why are drug laws laws? What is, is it that we want a law just to interfere with people's lives, or is there some protection that we're doing for people? So that's what it's come about. In this, in the newspaper, when I was interviewed, this trade magazine, U.S. Pharmacist came up, and it looks at the health concerns of certain, what they call here, killer sex, a new look at AIDS. Now, these people don't have any political agenda, but in this article, they make a connection to, these are things that are not comfortable to talk about in a public forum, but they talk about anal sex as a major factor in AIDS. And they talk about research that was done to say that this is actually a tremendous health hazard, and that it may even lead, according to this research, a fellow named Steve Whitcomb, to compromising the immune system. Well, the article goes on, and again, this is not a political thing. It's no right-wing magazine or left-wing or anything, but this went on to say that this was actually hurting people. Well, if there was a law that took into account that people were actually being injured by that, then they would have the same justification for laws that any law exists for, seatbelt laws or non-smoking laws or other things. So these kinds of things are things, once something becomes a law for a Christian, yes, it has to be supported, whether you agree with it or not. What has very often happened is the government comes in and says that this is something that is wrong is right, and that the Christians respond to that in ways that allow them, to some measure, to honor a law without inflicting its cruelty or its injustice. So there's a lot that can be said about laws. I mean, we have laws that are filling our books now about that are interfering with many of our constitutional rights, and those are the things that as a Christian we have a difficulty. Abortion it's impossible to make a law to stop abortion. That's what the Supreme Court said. Well, we recognize that. Law is not, abortion, for instance, is not murder. We can't say it's murder because murder is a legal term. It means the unlawful taking of a life. In the United States, abortion is not the unlawful taking of life. It is protected by law. So we as Christians don't say the term abortion is murder. We may say abortion is killing of an innocent life, but we don't say abortion is murder because murder is a legal term, and it's not the law. No judge will convict a doctor of performing an abortion in America. That's the truth. So we're as Christians living in an imperfect world and an imperfect society with imperfect laws. But one thing the Bible does not support is it does not support insurrection, does not support vigilantism and other things. So there's a lot to be said about law, and knowing that, I'm sure that the question was hand-tailored to put Christians in a difficult place of responding. I had hoped that the context would come out, and the context would have justified my uncomfortableness with the question which I displayed on the video.